Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm here for Black Ink Crew Chicago Season 2. I'm not sure what episode it is, but it's no point for me to do last week's episode, and the same thing for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. So I'm just doing this past week's episode for both shows. As you guys know, I got my wisdom teeth pulled. That's why I wasn't in here last week or whatever. Um, and just trying to heal and everything, and then Halloween came around, and started partying and everything. So that's why this review for this week's episode is so late. But yeah, let's just get to it. So Cobra, aka Cat, the other cat, she comes in with her boyfriend, and Ryan and Charmaine and Ford, they all sitting down talking about Ryan's 30th birthday. And pretty much he wants to do like a great Gatsby theme and everything. And Cobra, she asks him about, is there going to be some ballroom dancing and everything. And her and Charmaine, they start playing around and dancing with one another. And Ford, he's starting to kind of warm up a little bit to Cobra. Don, next up is Don. He's having a barbecue for his dad's birthday. You guys remember him and Ford don't have the same father. Don, he talks about pretty much his baby mamas, and he keeps on saying that Whitney is jealous of him and Ashley's relationship, and I'm just tired of hearing him say that, because who wants this fucked up ass relationship that you two have? Like, please let me know, okay? But anyways, the dad, he says that he doesn't want his daughter to feel abandoned and just feel like, oh, he just only been there for his son and this, that, and the third. His dad, tells him that pretty much he needs to sit both of the girls down, because they have to be a family and all this other stuff. His kids involved, and Don, he thinks it's a bad idea. Moving on from that, we get Danielle, her and her boyfriend Terrence, they're still trying to move into their place. Well, actually, Terrence, he's moving boxes by himself while she's just sitting there looking pretty, drinking some wine. And he's annoyed and stressed, and she says that he says that she's making the C effort with this shit and everything, and she's like, what are you, like my college professor or my boyfriend? You know what I'm saying? They start arguing about who put the clothes in the boxes and all this other stuff, and she says she's not about to pick up a 70-pound box and all this other stuff. But I mean, like, girl, you could have made an effort. You could have made an effort, you know what I'm saying, to try to do something, or at least to try to take the stuff out the box and move it to wherever, you know what I mean. But anyways, they just continue to argue or whatever, and then she throws the damn glass at the wall and everything, and I'm just like, see, y'all don't need to be moving in together. This is a sign. Y'all arguing and shit like this already, and y'all not even all the way in. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't know about this one. So Don goes to, talk to Four about, everything that's going on, and, he tells Four about the convo with his, the conversation he had with his dad, and, Four is like, I respect Don's dad. He's been like a dad to me, but him suggesting Don bring these two women together is, not a good idea and all this other stuff. And he wants, Don pretty much wants his kids to have a relationship, and he don't want to be the cause of them not having a relationship because he couldn't fix, the things between both of the moms. Then we get Danielle and Kat, they're at Danielle's house, and she talks about the argument that she had with Terrence and everything, and she says that he's controlling, and it'll be something as like she'll go to work and be like, why do you have your tits out and all this other stuff. And Kat is like, do you think it's because of Ryan or whatever, this, that, and the third, knowing that he's going to be there? Because you guys remember her, Danielle and Ryan, they had like a little fling going on last season or whatever. Kat, she gets a phone call from her mother, and her aunt passed away. She had colon cancer, and she was like, I just visited her weeks ago, and she was doing fine and everything, and they had her in the hospice or whatever, you know, to pretty much make her comfortable. And, you know, she was like that her aunt knew that she was going to die soon and all this other stuff. And, you know, Kat was like, you know, it's hard for me to show emotions for my mom and everything because all I know how to do is be strong. And they showed footage of her and her aunt. And it really do seem like they really had a close relationship. She considered it to be like her second mother. And it is, you know, sad to see. And rest in peace to, you know, Kat's aunt. I know that really has to be hard. As I told you guys before, I had an aunt that I was very close to, and when she passed, I couldn't believe it. It was crazy. So Ryan is with his mom, and you know, pretty much they talk about, you know, the crew and everything. More specifically, Kat. And, you know, he's not feeling Kat right now. And, you know, he brings up the fact that, you know, everybody was supposed to pay for Van's half of the rent. And she kind of just bailed out pretty much and everything. And, you know, that's when she asked him, you know, like, do you know about anything that Kat is going through outside the shop and all this other stuff? And Ryan was like, no, she would have told me if, you know, if there was something going on. And, you know, that's when Ryan's mom, you know, lets him know that, you know, Kat's aunt passed away and everything. And, you know, he was like, you know, her mom's sister or whatever. And, you know, she's like, yeah, you know, she's trying to be strong and all this other stuff. And Ryan, he does want to be there for her despite the fact of, you know, everything that's going on between the both of them. Moving on from that, we get Don. He's with Ashley and they're waiting on Whitney to show up. You know, Ashley sitting up here popping all this shit in the confessional talking about something. I'm the one who got the ring, okay? What does that mean? Y'all better listen to Kim Zolciak when she said the ring didn't mean a thing. Like, come on, girl. That ring don't mean shit if this motherfucker's still out here, you know, slinging his dick in every fucking bitch that he see. Anyways, Whitney, she shows up or whatever, and pretty much she's already on the defense and saying that, you know, when you stop lying about everything, you know, we'll be good and all this other stuff. And, you know, she's like, you lied about being in a relationship with me. And he's like, you know, we wasn't in a relationship or nothing like that. We was just playing around. Now, look, I don't know if they was or wasn't in a relationship. And quite frankly, I don't give a fuck. But maybe it was a situation where she thought they was together, but they wasn't in his eyes, you know. But anyways, Ashley was like, well, you know, I didn't break up a relationship either and all this other stuff. And Whitney was like, yeah, you did and everything. And Ashley was like, well, I mean, his family says that, you know, he doesn't, that they don't even know you and all this other stuff. They just now knowing you and blase, blase. And Ashley, she's still popping shit in the confessional. I noticed how calm she is with Whitney compared to when, you know, with her and Charmaine. Y'all notice that? Yeah. Had all that mouth and all, you know, all this other shit, you know, with Charmaine, but you ain't got that much to fucking say, or you ain't popping off on Whitney. Yeah, I guess she seemed like that's some weak ass shit to me. She seemed like one of them bitches where she know who she can fuck with and who she can't. But anyways, you know, Ashley was saying that, you know, Whitney is the side chick and all this other stuff. Like, congratulations, you played yourself and all this other stuff. I'm like, so you're okay with the fact that she was a side chick? I mean, you should be the one. Like, really, y'all both played y'all motherfucking selves if we want to keep it real, because you still staying with the man that keep on cheating on you and shit. And now on top of that, he got a whole fucking other kid with a whole nother woman. But she the only one who played herself in this situation. Like, Ashley, please get the fuck out with that fucking bullshit. Like, for real. Like, I be really trying to feel sorry for you, but it's really hard for me too, because you just act so fucking stupid. So according to Whitney, you know, Don knew this whole time he had a daughter or whatever. And Ashley, you know, she didn't know that he knew, you know, apparently knew this whole time and everything. And if Dawn say one more fucking time that somebody is trying to ruin his relationship, I'ma fucking scream. Cause motherfucker, you ruining your own goddamn relationship with all your bullshit. Ain't nobody ruining the shit but your dumb ass. Anyways, so moving on from that, Whitney is over it. She gets up and says, you don't only have a son or whatever, if he's even yours. I said, oh, girl, like, talk about low blow. I was like, ooh, girl, you ain't have to go there. You know what I'm saying? So Ashley now, she's pissed off and starts talking all this shit or whatever. And Don, he goes to Whitney's car and tells her, stop bringing my son into this shit or whatever every time we have an argument and everything. And he was about to go crazy because, you know, he was trying to hold down her the window to her car as she was trying to roll it up, but then he saw his daughter crying in the back seat and everything, and that's pretty much what stopped him from doing that. So Ryan and Kat, they meet up and everything, and pretty much he tells her that, you know, I know about your aunt and everything, and, you know, she asks him about the shop, and, you know, he says, pretty much he's saying that he had to do what he had to do, and Kat was like, you know, that he made decisions behind her back. I'm like, it's his shop though. But you know, he's saying that, you know, you was already out and all this other stuff or something like that. And, you know, she says that it wasn't like that and everything. Just because I get a new space or whatever, that doesn't mean I was like fuck 9 mag. And, you know, she says they always had communication issues, blase blase. He still, you know, got love for her. They, you know, they're still gonna be friends. You know, he wants her to call if there's a problem and all this other stuff. And she's like, well, you don't call me and everything and all this other stuff. But, you know, he brings up his birthday and everything, and, you know, she's pretty much invited. So we're finally at Ryan's birthday event, The Great Gatsby. And, Van, he's talking about how he now likes Junior, but he still doesn't like Cobra. You know, Ryan, he gives Danielle a hug, and Terrence, he's in the cut, you know, just drinking, you know, observing. And Kat, you know, she knows that Terrence feels some type of way about Ryan, you know, because of the situation that happened with Ryan and Danielle last season when Danielle and Terrence were broken up. He's still in the cut watching Danielle dance and everything, but from the way it seemed like to me, it seemed like she was dancing more so in a group and not like with Ryan, you know what I'm saying? Because I think Dawn was, you know, right next to them dancing and stuff, and I think I can't remember, but I mean, it looked like it was more so of her dancing in a group versus just dancing with Ryan himself, unless they took some shit out. I mean, I don't know. But anyways, Terrence, he goes outside and starts talking to Junior and shit, you know, talking to somebody you don't fucking know, you know what I'm saying? That's how you knew Terrence is fucked up, because he don't know Junior from a mile of fucking way. So he's talking to Junior about, you know, Ryan, talking about some, you know, he need to chill because, you know, this my bitch and all this other stuff. And Junior is like, man, you know, Terrence is acting insecure and I'm trying to get my drink on and Ryan's dirty 30 and I ain't got time for this bullshit. So Junior tells him to come back on inside and fix his, you know, his tie or whatever. Charmaine, she brings her friend Ariel, I think that's her name, from New Orleans or whatever, the one that Ryan had like some kind of connection with last week or whatever. Cobra, she walks in with her boyfriend. Van, he talking about what she doing here, she ain't family and all this other stuff. I'm like, really, Van? Like, this is where Van is just really starting to irk the fuck out of me. And I say it to you guys all the time how much I like Van, but he really pissed me the fuck off with this shit right here. Cobra, she, you know, she comes in and hugs him and everything, and, you know, he in his confessional talking about some, you know, we ain't friends and all this stuff. How you want to sit up here, come and hug me, but you've been disrespectful and blase. And, you know, he pulls her to the side and asks her what she's doing here, and she was like, I was invited by Ryan and all this other stuff, and I was hired by Ryan, and, she's like, what you got against me and everything? And he's like, you're not Kat. Who the fuck said she was trying to be Kat? Like, what the fuck? And she's like, you know, she was like, you know, Kat was the one who didn't pay your half for the rent while you was locked up and all this other stuff while you talking. I said, Cobra has a point there. Just saying. Van talking about some she bossy and all this other stuff. And Cobra says that it wasn't her intentions. And I believe, watching last week's episode, I believe it wasn't her intentions to be like that. Maybe she was doing a little bit too much by saying, you gotta clean this and gotta clean that or whatever. But it is understandable, working in a tattoo environment. Don't nobody want to come into no, dirty or junky tattoo place or whatever, and you want to try to be as professional as as possible. So I understand where she was coming from. Maybe she could have went about it a different way, but you didn't even give her a chance to fucking explain herself about this shit. You just kept on saying, oh, I don't like her. Like, I feel like from Jump Street you didn't give her a motherfucking chance. I mean, you gave Junior a chance and now you like him, but you didn't even bother to give her a fucking chance. And like, you really was acting like a motherfucking bitch, Van, on some real shit. He pretty much is telling her that she's an opportunist, and Cobra is like, I don't give a fuck how you feel about me and all this other stuff. And he tells her to go back from wherever the fuck she came from and all this other stuff. Cobra, she's outside telling her boyfriend what happened and everything, and she was like, he disliked me because I'm not fucking Cat or whatever. Like, get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, man, he really made me mad. I'm really disappointed in him. Like, that was some real fuck shit for you to do. Like, I mean, I'm just lost for words because I really just can't fucking believe him. I really cannot believe him. And it's like, you've been acting like real bitch made these last 2 or 3 episodes now. Like, for real. And you need to get the fuck together, because that shit is fucking ridiculous. Anyways, what else happened? So, okay, Terrence, he wants another shot. He's fucking drunk at this point. Ryan, he steps in and says, you need some water, man. And Ryan is even trying to talk to him or whatever. Danielle is embarrassed at this point, and she's like, it's time for him to go. She's talking to Kat and everything, and Kat has known Terrence for a long time, since they were like teenagers or something. Danielle's telling Terrence to go home and all this other stuff, and he tells her to suck Ryan's dick or something like that. He said to her, I said, Danielle a good motherfucking one, because it wouldn't have been me. It would have not been me. I'm not the type to really, put my hands on anybody on any dude that I'm in a relationship with, because I wouldn't want them to, do that to me. But it just would have had to been a ball out fallout that fucking day. It would have had to been a ball out fallout, because if you think you want to talk to me like that, like, oh, you got another motherfucking thing coming. So, she goes outside and, talking to Kat about him and all this other stuff, and, he wants to go back, or he was outside with her as well, but he wanted to go back in or whatever. And that's when Kat comes out or whatever and talks to Danielle. And Kat, she's just shocked by his behavior, because she's never seen him like that. And he comes back out, and then he grabs her and says that she's being thirsty for Ryan and all this other stuff. And for her to put her titties back in Ryan's face or whatever. And that's when she slaps him and all this other stuff. And it's just like, really, Terrence? You acting like a motherfucking bitch too. Now, granted, Danielle, I feel like you should have been more attentive to him, seeing how fucked up he was getting. And then, it seemed like, from what we seen, he was just kind of off to the side by himself majority of the time, while you was just hanging out with, Ryan and Don and all them, which maybe you should have, kind of encouraged him to come around y'all and all this other stuff, versus just having him being in the corner by himself. But Terrence, at the same time, all that shit you was doing was motherfucking uncalled for. It really was. Like, really? I mean, it's just too much bitch assness going on in this motherfucking episode. That's why I'm just keep on pausing, because it's just like, you didn't have to do all that. Like, you sitting up here, like Junior said, being insecure or whatever, when it's like, motherfucker, you wasn't even claiming her as your girlfriend for 7 fucking years, and now you finally are, and you mad about some shit that went down between her and Ryan when y'all was not together. And on top of that, like I said, you was not claiming her. So I mean, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But that shit was just really ridiculous. It really was ridiculous. And then also too, Danielle, you should have just went home with him. There's no way in three hells you could have had sent him home by himself like that. You should have just, called it a night. But so I feel like they both was kind of wrong in some way in that situation. And also back to Cobra and Van for a second. I was glad that Cobra did stand up for herself against Van and everything. But I'm so mad with him. I'm so fucking mad with him. I mean, just him yelling at her and all this other shit. Like, I mean, yelling at a woman like that over some trivial shit. The shit is fucking trivial. Wow, because she wants the shop to be clean and everything. Like I said, she could have went about it a different way. But all that shit you was doing was just really uncalled for. But I'll be right back in here for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. I don't even really want to review that shit because I did watch some other people's reviews, and from what I seen, it seemed like it wasn't too much going on for the season finale. Just pretty much like the whole goddamn season. I pretty much was bored with the whole Love and Hip Hop Hollywood season. But yeah, I'm talking too much now. I hope this video ain't too long, but make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys come back, and I'll be right back in here for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood.